Kat Lloyd, Paw Pals TV, and I am with Kim and Art, and you guys live in the neighborhood,
Yes.
correct?
Well,
okay.
close enough.
Okay. You live in Killeen.
Yes.
So how did you know Bruce?
I met him through his owner, Amanda. I actually had walked in one day when we were coming over, and he met me at the door barking, which dogs do.
Yeah.
And it was, new dog, and I was like, oh, okay, he's cool. And from that moment on, he was just like my best friend. Every time I'd come over, it was, he was wherever I was or wherever my daughter was. He liked to follow me around, and if I would move, he wanted to bark. Like he was, where are you going?
Stay still, I'm laying on you.
Yeah, and he was just very cool, very chill dog.
Was he? Okay. How did you know Bruce?
Well, like you said, I got to meet him a couple times, but whenever we came over, didn't want to leave my side at all. I was like, just give me some space.
But did he ever show any aggression?
No.
No.
None whatsoever?
No.
How did you feel when you heard about the situation with Bruce?
I was very upset because I didn't find out until after everything had gone down, and he was already here.
Yeah.
And it was very upsetting because there was no need for it.
Why
None.
do you say that?
He wasn't vicious. He was friendly to anybody I ever saw him around. The worst thing he ever did was bark.
Yeah.
And if that's vicious, then I've got 5 dogs at home that are in a lot of trouble.
You live in the city limits of Killeen?
Yes.
How do you feel about the ordinance based on what happened to Bruce with even your 5 dogs?
It scares me because all it takes is 2 seconds for a dog to get out, and you could end up in this situation. And it scares me. It really does.
Well, from what I've seen in the past, you're probably looking at about $3,500 should he get in trouble. And you've got 5 dogs. What do you do?
I don't have that. So I would be losing a dog or several.
And how does that make you feel?
That's very upsetting, and what's even worse is I have a daughter that would take it hard
Yeah.
because those are her babies.
I understand that you are military background?
Yes, retired.
Okay. And I want to thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you for your support.
So how long have you guys lived here in Killeen?
Let's see, this is 23, so 22 years.
22 years.
And I got here in 05, so.
Would this ordinance and the fact that you have so many pets, would it change your mind about living here long term?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what message do you have for other pet owners living within the city limits?
Be very careful. Make sure your fence is sturdy and at all times it's in good repair. And and sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes if you've got one like this one that wanted to go for walks and thought he needed attention from everybody, if you've got to, take him on a leash to take him out.
How would you react if something happened to her dogs and they got themselves in the same position?
The situation, I'm all against killing animals for a hearsay reason. If it hasn't been vicious, you should not be attacking it. Because, like all pets, no matter how short a time you have them, to whether you're just fostering them, become a part of your family. They take on part of your living style. So therefore you can see how they are. Like, we have a dog and he's one of them breeds, or they consider him vicious, but he's the nicest little, not even mid-sized dog. Mm-hmm. He's cool. And like I said, if anything happened to those dogs, I'd be pretty upset because, we watch the dogs very care. They're very loving and everything else. So yeah, that's part of the family, and there's all them rules, If somebody's trying to come into my house and mess with my family without there being reasonable cause, there's no reason for you to be there. So technically, if you have to extract a animal, well, now you're stealing my property, and that's not good at all.
No, it's not. So what is your message to the city of Killeen in regards to their ordinance?
They need to look at all of them because they make no sense, because just because you see a certain breed is used for certain things doesn't mean all breeds have that, or all animals in that type have that temperament. It's like a person, you know? There are evil people and nice people. But I can't be like, oh, well, you're from this background, so you're a bad person.
It's a little bit of profiling.
It's the same thing like with service members, you know? If you're in combat arms, they look at you a different way to a degree. So therefore you're profiled as being a hostile, you could be a hostile person just because of the job you decided to do while you were serving.
I understand.
And I'm like, that's how I look at things. Yeah, I mean, dogs have their own personalities, cats, people, but you can't judge them based on the reactions of a certain animal because of how he was brought up. Because like people, we only react to what's in our environment and what we're subject to. And it takes time to change that. So that's how I feel about that.
I want to thank you both. I want to thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you
Okay,
again.
you have my phone number. Should you ever have a problem with your pet, you call me. And I promise you, and I take an oath, that I will fight this until we change it.
Thank
that
you.
good?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So this is Kat Lloyd, Paw Pals TV. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you're living in Killeen, please beware and also have some money saved up, because this is going to be an expensive situation until we fix it. Again, I ask you to please always spay, neuter, microchip, be kind to your animals. And if you have a problem, call me. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
I was not planning on being part of this at all.
And look how well you did, okay?
My mom said I should have been a lawyer or a politician.
Well, maybe she was right. But there has to be a change to this.
there
This
has.
can't stay this
Yeah.
way. This is the only city within, or the only ordinance within the state of Texas that is this mean to servicemen. And I'm offended.
So when I saw this dog, nobody adopted her. So I was just like, oh my God, she looked like she's sweet, you know? And I went to the shelter. They said she is nice and that's the manager favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got her, but it didn't turn out to be, you know, it wasn't sweet.
Where did the dog bite her?
In her legs.
Okay. And did it puncture?
She was bleeding, yeah, and she was crying.